Welcome. How we use Power BI and Claude or LLMs going forward has changed. This video, I'm going to show you how Power BI can scale across end user insights. This is a need to know thing when you're thinking about the future of analytics. What we're going to show you is how we can create a report, and in that future state, end users can connect and use Claude to get insights from the report. Explain why this is that, how this is happening. I'm going to segment this video by first showing you the value. I'm going to go through an example. We'll have Claude, we'll have a report, I'll act as an end user, and I'll just start asking questions. And then I'll show you at the end of the video how to connect it. So skip to the end if you want to see how to connect it. At the same time, to understand the value and the importance and the premise of scaling Power BI, Claude, LLMs, all these things together. Check out this beginning portion of it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, ask any questions. Let's get into it. Let's go. All right, so here we are with a combination of Claude on one side and a report on the other side. Again, the report's nothing fancy. It's a normal report. What's cool about this as well is it's in my own service, Power BI trial, my own personal kind of thing I set up. If you're interested to know how to set this up, also using free Claude, leave a message in the comments. I can do another video about creating the trial environment that Microsoft allows you to have it set up. So what we have here is a published report. Many people have these. Again, I can click something, the report changes, and you get insights. But the future is evolving. We're no longer do we need to have dashboards that show all the how this is changing or why, but the concept of having a dashboard drive key indicators. Okay, I can see this store is crushing it. I can see this month had the most. But then to understand the why this is happening and the how behind it, we need to evolve. Claude, LLMs, these things are taking the scope. So again, now I'm an end user. This is the experience. I want to just tell Claude, and there's back-end stuff we have to do to make this work, but I'm going to show you the experience. So I'm going to say, connect to the MS sales, oops, I hit caps lock, sales report. Again, that's this right here. I'm going to show you how to make this happen. I'm just going to do this first. Let's see if it connects, and let's fast forward. We're back. A cool thing is it requests authentication. Again, you can see it's my own domain, Power BI Bro. I'll show you how to set this stuff up if you're interested. But I'm going to verify. So it enables, oh, hopefully this works. It's going to take into, oh, I got to do it all over the place here. All right, all checked out. And so now the good thing is that when you think about the scalability of the solutions, you can just see that Claude called into Fabric, authenticated myself, and now it's connected to the report. How cool is this from an end user perspective? Think about what you can unlock. So now, typically what might happen is, I see this June was great, 356K. I want to know why. I see high level metrics. I might click this. I could probably see, okay, this product did a lot. What stores are happening. But the future is to allow the genius of LLMs to just work with your reporting. And so now this is where you have this kind of set up, and I'll say, maybe I want to explain to me why, and I'll caps lock why, just the thought of like the whys, the hows. This is where LLMs are great. Why June had the most sales, and why March had the fewest. What were the key drivers and executive level insights? Question mark. Boom. Claude, I saw this question. I could click around and do stuff. Now it's going to do it. It's going to start hitting that model and analyzing it and coming back to us. So let's fast forward. Let's go. So it's showing the right data, of course. It's reconciling to it. It's pulling it. And now it's giving some level of executive insights. And this is where there might be visuals in Power BI that can kind of do this, but you get next level with Claude. It's telling me the transaction volume, a similar story. External stores dominated. Far rest, the certain regions, things that aren't even on the report, other dimensions in the model are showing the significant growths. March Weakness was just below volume. Several products posted negative sales. Here's the full picture. Why June was the best month. Why March was the worst. Look at this. Return it, analyze it. So now thinking about you're creating dashboards, very valuable. They have the right insights. Obviously, looking at this, I even thought that this was wrong. It's completely correct. I just missed an element in the development of this practice dashboard. And now we're analyzing it and looking at it. What if we try something different? Say this store FAMA is doing well. And we know that because I clicked it and I looked into it. At least it was in June. It's still somewhere at the top. Is doing well. Compare FAMA to, we'll do someone lower. We'll do Palma and explain the differences in detail. But let's ask another question. How can I make this, how can I improve the other store? How can I improve the store performing poorly? So again, I'll ask this question, but the key thing difference with this is I'm asking a more granular thing about certain stores, but I'm also asking it to give me suggestions on what to do. A report's never going to give me suggestions on what to do. And that's where you start to think about, okay, there's a ton of capability here. So after this example, I'll show you how we connect it, but let's allow this thing to process and look at the results. Let's go. Fast forward. All right. So this is starting to return results. Let's start looking at it in real time. So it's doing the same sort of thing where it's comparing the first store and the second store, almost just giving general KPIs. So if I say click this store, and we can see this again, net sales, it'd be the aggregate of these three, but it's also showing the detailed number of transactions, the units sold. So, I mean, this wasn't reporting transactions. Right here, I can see transactions, okay? Because it's tailoring a visual creation to my question. Very cool. If we keep looking at this, now it's comparing the two of them, but the product category, the net sales, dragging products, what products are failing, what products are ahead, net sales, looking at months. And that's giving me all this detail. Again, you can't just build this into a report. This is where semantic modeling is the future. It matters so much. The model that we're creating, feeding this report, giving the top level insights, gives those descriptive analytics to prompt questions from end users. And when you build the whole ecosystem, you're just rocking. So now, it's giving more feedback. All this is fictitious data on sales Microsoft data, but you can see, boom, this is the biggest story. The best category is this. So it's literally giving us so much information. It's incredible. It's the future. It's how you scale analytics to end users. You can build reports, semantic modeling, and then you allow Claude to connect to that, and you're set. So we're on the leading edge of this stuff. Let's get going. So how do you set it up? Couple of key things. So let's dive into that part now. Firstly, again, this is my good old practice trial service. If you want to set it up, set this up yourself, how to make your own, let me know in the comments and I'll go through the process of making one. I'm not sure if there's a demand for that or not, but here's what you have to have happen, some prerequisites for this to utilize itself. It's going to entail the XMLA endpoint that enables semantic models to be connected to LLMs or to anything else. So in this, Power BI Bro development, first, your workspace, and I'm using some terms. I'm assuming you know what they are. If not, let me know. I'll let you know what those are as well. But the workspace is going to be on a premium capacity. Again, this is per user because it's a trial thing. It's just a free thing I spun up. But what that means, if you go into the workspace type and why, you'll see a very specific call out that Power BI premium per user, that this or a premium capacity of there's other options as well, but this is the first hop. It enables the XMLA endpoint. With this option, other users can access the workspace. That allows people to connect into stuff. So number one, you need to have that set up. So you need to have a published, as we're thinking about sharing stuff with end users, then that needs to be in a premium workspace or Fabric premium capacity or a premium per user. There's lots of options there. Secondly, with the semantic modeling, I do recommend in the tenant settings to go to allow XMLA endpoints and analyze in Excel. with on-premise semantic models, though I don't think you actually truly need this. It's just something that I do have enabled. But the most important thing as well is to have an MCP connection set up. And I'll show that to you. But there's a video. This other video I made shows in detail how to set that up. Watch it. Look at the steps. It's simple. I'll show you the highlights here too. So you have to do a couple things. And here's what you do. Say you have all this stuff and you get it. All right, how do we get this going? What you do are these steps. You go into a semantic model. You go into settings. And then there's going to be a server settings down here. This is a connection string. This is what you won't see if you're not using premium. This allows the connectivity to occur. So you copy this and then you go into Claude. So here we are, a new chat. There's a couple of key things. First, and this is where how you scale this thing out, I'm not quite sure yet, but for this to work, the users need to go through the process of 5 minutes or so of installing the MCP server on their computer. And again, watch this video that's in the description as well. I'll put a link to it, should maybe pop up. We'll show you how to do that. But some key things you know that you have this running are when you go into settings, good old Rob here, and you go to developer, you'll see Power BI modeling MCP, it's running, it's set up. You ask, how do you set this up? Watch the other video. But now you have this set up, and what was hanging up for quite a while was how do you there's videos on how to process the data yourself on the MCP server, but how else do you actually make this connect? So here's the connection string. You're going to type the word fabric connect. And before I just called a report. That's the end user experience. But in this case, I'm going to show you what to do. You put fabric connect and then simply put this in here. So the key phrase is fabric connect. Then you put in that server. And if you have MCP set up, that's all you got to do. It's that simple. But I'll hit enter here, or I'll search this thing. Not search it, but execute it. And now it's reading this Microsoft skill that's created. But fabric connect data. Let's pause for a minute and let it run. Okay, now it's connected. So what you can do as you start thinking about how to make this more user-friendly, well, you can just say, save this connection as MSF report. I put Microsoft. And if users say connect to MSF report, execute the string above. Create a skill for this and allow me to share that skill. Super simple stuff. And now it's checking. I did this earlier, so it might actually say you have something that's there or renamed. There you go. But it's connecting the file. And this skill then, this is what you can send to your end users. You can think of ways you want to kind of share that. But then this will basically say, here's how you can connect to the report. Here's what you can use. Using just simple text language versus all those commands and strings and everything. And then you're all set up. And then you're rocking and you're rolling, and you can literally get insights to all this stuff. So if this is valuable, let me know in the comments. Leave a question. There's the skill. It's saying automatically connect. You can download this. You can save the skill, and you're all set. Again, there's steps to get the MCP server set up. Watch this other video. It will help you with that. Subscribe. Hit me up with questions. But use this. Share your thoughts. I'm curious to think about scaling analytics and how this can help that. But enjoy. Take care. Bye.